Mark Lamb is best known as America's Sheriff, but that wasn't always the case. After actually being a business owner for more than a decade, he then joined the world of law enforcement in his mid-30s and has thrived as a leader in his field from day one. Now, as sheriff of Pinal County, Arizona, he has been on the front lines of the border crisis. With an attitude of fear not, do right, and a common sense approach, his patriotism is as infectious as his positive attitude. But you could imagine his dismay on Tuesday at President Biden's response when the president was asked why he was going to a border state, but not visiting the border.
Go to a border state and not visit the border. Because there's a more important thing going on. They're going to invest billions of dollars in a new enterprise.
Thank you so much, Sheriff, for being here today.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. I saw the president's remarks. He was leaving for Maricopa County, and I was pretty astonished, actually, by what he said. I would imagine that to hear that is just a kick in the gut.
Absolutely. I wouldn't expect anything less from these guys. I actually was going to do a video a couple of days ago, and I probably should have, but I didn't want it to come off as like a publicity stunt, but I really wanted to invite him to the border, and a genuine invitation saying, come to the border and see the problem. For him to dismiss it as if it's not an issue for America is completely responsible and frankly, really un-American. The leading cause of death in America right now is fentanyl and opioid poisoning, in particular fentanyl. And I think it's really disingenuous and a slap in the face to all of those American families who have lost loved ones and who continue to lose loved ones every day, who are struggling with loved ones who are fighting addiction problems, to say that this is not that they have other more pressing matters. Very disingenuous, very much a slap in the face of those American people and us.
If you were standing on the lawn and you had a chance to say something, what would you have said?
I would have said, do your job. Your job is to protect our borders, and you're not doing it. Let's get people in place that will do it. And frankly, I would have said, Mr. President, I'm in opposition to you. I want to see America succeed. I want to protect our communities and our borders. A good partner for anybody that wants to work. But if you're not, I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to make sure that the people know that they're failing to do their job.
1 million gotaways, 4 million encounters at the border. We have the fentanyl pouring in. This is obviously fueling crime and human trafficking and suffering of women and children. All of these things, I think for him to say there's more important things going on, it's just astonishing.
Right. We're seeing slavery alive and well, flourishing here in America. And I thought we were trying to get away from all of that. You know, you hear about so many people talk about the past of America, and we're just getting right into it again, although it looks just a little bit different. People are being enslaved every day, and they're being enslaved into the sex trade, women and children. The cartels understand that they can only sell you a pill one time, but they can sell you a woman or a child over and over again. They're extorting the men. So when we talk about human trafficking, I'm trying to be very descriptive as to what that is. It is not just bringing people across the border. It is putting people in the slave trade here in America. And that is not the American way. We need to get out from that. Is what every American should be fighting against. And then obviously we already talked about the fentanyl issue and what a big problem that is for America. And that is all happening right on the southern border every day. We have seen a 250% increase in pursuits involving human smuggling. We have seen a 200% increase in traffic stops involving human smuggling. And you talk about those million gotaways, I bet you that number is at least double that. If not, it could be twice as much or 3 times as much. There are far more gotaways that are getting through than what we actually know got through.
And if we're talking about Title 42, which may be repealed later this month, what do you think is going to happen at that point?
It get even worse, which is hard to believe because it's really, really bad. It's actually disastrous right now. And it's going to get even worse for America. the amount of people showing up here, they're not all good people. They're not all people that just want to work. And they're not all people that love America. As a matter of fact, we know from the fact that they've caught 100 terrorists trying to come into this country already this year, that these are people that don't love America. Destroy us, they would. And they frankly may, if we continue to let them in here unchecked. And that is what's coming in, military age men. And we talk, the slavery thing, the drugs, it's going to get worse and worse if we don't do anything about it. Crime will increase. And it really ultimately is about undermining the rule of law and to destroy America, to reinvent America, which is what they said they wanted to do, build back better. Those things require you to tear it down first and build it back up again. To do that, you've got to tear away at the rule of law. And what better way to do it than by undermining the rule of law as it relates to the borders? You flood our communities with unknown people, unknown quantities. You flood our communities with dangerous drugs like methamphetamine and fentanyl, causing havoc for us in local law enforcement.
Did you ever think, and this goes into your wonderful book, which makes a great holiday gift, American Sheriff, Traditional Values in a Modern World, the things that exactly you are talking about right now. Did you ever think when you got into this job, because previously to being a sheriff and getting into law enforcement, you were a business owner, did you ever think that you were going to see the types of things that you are seeing now?
I would like to say no, but when I decided to run for sheriff, it was when Hillary Clinton was getting ready to run for president. And we were coming off of President Biden or Obama. And I thought he was very destructive to the rule of law and really is who ushered in a lot of what we're seeing on steroids now. But I thought he really was tearing away at the fabric of America, which is why I decided to run. So I was very scared. I was very concerned, not scared. I was concerned that if Hillary Clinton were to win, this would just get worse and worse. I thought we had a stay of execution, a reprieve, if you will, for 4 years with President Trump, who I think loves America. He fights for every day to protect America. He did. He secured our borders. So I expected it back in 2017. And then I thought maybe we got past it, only to get right back into it, but really worse than what I thought it could have been. So yes and no, I kind of expected it. I did not expect it to this level.
And tell me a little bit about your book so people can go out and get it.
Yeah, I'm no author, even though I've written 2 books. I'm not a writer, but I believe in sharing, things that are close to me and that I'm passionate about. And one of those things is I'm passionate about. 3 of them are God, family, and freedom. And I think that there's so many great stories of Americans who've done great things in this world. A couple of years ago, called American Sheriff, Traditional Values in a Modern World. I think we've lost touch with those traditional values that made America great. I wanted to follow up with another book, and I wrote it about a poem that I love. And it's a poem by Rudyard Kipling called If, a great poem. And I wanted to illustrate the stanzas of the poem, which are the chapters, with different stories from the founding fathers, stories of hope and sacrifice, all things that we need in this crazy world that we live in today. And so I wrote the book hoping that maybe people would find the same peace as I do, knowing that, yeah, it may be difficult and we may go through some challenging times, but there's always an opportunity to come out better, stronger, and sacrifice is part of life. Pain is part of life. Determination is what we need to get through it all. And that's really what I wanted to do, is just tell some stories and something that's close to my heart, and a poem that I think is an amazing poem and really gives you some rules to live by. So hence American Sheriff, Rules to Live By.
So for those people who may be a bit discouraged at this point or even really fearful, what can you tell them? What words can you give?
First of all, don't believe the media or the politicians. America is still the greatest country in the world. That's why 300,000 plus people show up at our borders every day. If this country sucked, they wouldn't come here. they know that it's still the greatest country in the world. And even though we're seeing our freedoms attacked every day, and we're seeing attacks on the Constitution and our American way of life, we are still in the greatest country. We still have the ability to fix this and to right the ship. And there are good people out there that are willing to fight to do it. And so take courage knowing that. And one of the chapters in my book is, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. What a true statement. You know, just because it looks disastrous, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And just because it looks like it's a good thing doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And really, in the end, it's experiences in life. And these experiences are designed to make us better and stronger, better Americans, better patriots, bring us closer to God. And what I see is not bad things. I mean, I see some challenges, but I see some opportunities for some heroes to step forward. And I see some opportunities for us to really define who we are as people and as patriots. And I see a lot of great things happening. So take courage knowing that good things are happening. It's not all bad.
Well, I think that you are one of those heroes, and I certainly appreciate all that you do and your courage and your inspiration, and of course, being here today. Once again, the book is American Sheriff, Traditional Values in a Modern World. Great gift for the holiday season. I urge you to go out and get a copy. Thank you so much, Sheriff.
And just, if I could add, I put some Christmas ornaments and a little mini badge and some other stuff on there. So if you get on and get that book, I'm going to be sending out those mini badges, and you can also get the ornaments. We got a Christmas bundle. Please get on. It's americansheriff.store. Americansheriff.store. I'll personalize the book and send it out to you. Thank you so much, Allison, again, for having me on. I'm sorry to cut you out and add that on.
No, not at all. I'll make sure that we put a big graphic up so you can send it out and people will know where to get everything.
I said, what better way to protect your Christmas tree than to have a nice Sheriff Lamb American Sheriff ornament on your tree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you so much, and have a great holiday season. I appreciate everything you do, and thank you again for coming on today.
Thank you, Allison. Merry Christmas and God bless.
God bless. Take care.